Good morning, good evening, good night. Welcome back to Lana's Little Things with me, specialist gerontologist, Dr. Lana. Welcome back, ages and thrivers, older persons, family caregivers. You know, this channel where we talk about all things on living agelessly, family caregiving, bridging generational gaps, and that's something we're going to focus on tonight in my land. So wherever you are, good morning, good evening, good night again. And we're also talking about entrepreneurship. That's also something that we're going to cover tonight. But what wanted to talk about, yes, it's New Year, and we're going to address lots of positive things and a lot of serious things as well. But we also want to zone in on aging and the specifics of family caregiving that are going to face us more and more. I mean, aren't we facing it already? And I'm going to talk about a particular generation that I'm a part of, which I think is an awesome generation. So if you are a Gen X, raise your hand, put it in comments below. Remember to like and subscribe, share with a friend who might need this information, and spread the word on how we can manage together, grow together, take care of our families, age well, deal with all the conditions that come with caregiving and aging and frailty, and yet doing it in a way that makes us smile and bringing on new things, innovative challenges. Okay, so let's get right into it. Gen X. Oh boy, do I love being Gen X. So, what exactly is Gen X? You'd have heard generation baby boomers. They were born from 40s in the mid 40s to 1964. Gen X from 1965 to 1980. That specific cutoff, some vary. And they're early Gen Xers and they're later Gen Xers. So I'm one of the later Gen Xers, close to the 1980s, and they're older Gen Xers. But anyway, I just think we're an awesome group. So why? Because Gen Xers have some unique benefits, unique characteristics, but also we have unique challenges when it comes to life as well as family caregiving. Okay, so what? Who are Gen Xers? We talked about the age groups, so that's going to be 40s, 50s, late 50s, the early 60s. And they're taking, and then the challenges would be their parents. Think about the age of their parents. They are baby boomers. So they are 70s, 80s, sometimes 90s, depending on when they had their children. Gen Xers may also have to deal with grandparents who might still be alive, given that we know we're an aging population and aging people are living longer. So mom is alive, grand is alive, granddad is alive, as it was not in years before. That brings its own challenge. So, what are some characteristics of Gen X? We'll talk about personal and we're going to talk about economical and maybe some social characteristics that make family caregiving the challenge and the juggle and what you can do about it, if anything. So, characteristics. Well, generally referred to as latchkey generation, where we've had our own keys so you can come in and parents are out and doing work. Mothers would have gone out, dads would have gone out. I didn't have so much personally as a later Gen Xer. I didn't have so much of that, but generally speaking, that's what it is. But there's also a sense of independence, and there was freedom. Your family let you do things. There was less traffic. There was less uh, disruption. Although you did have the energy crisis and the wars and so on. I mean, let's get real. Things did happen. Okay. But we kind of did a lot of experimentation. I wasn't one of those biking children, but I know a lot of my friends who were drive without ride without helmets, just get home before it's dark. No, but it talk to strangers. Yeah, just don't take something that might look funny. Go with your friends. We always had our group studied, more focused on or the opportunity was there not to have that education, have that tertiary level education. So that's a different characteristic that was new to this generation. So that brought technology emerged in that generation. Man was on the moon around that time as well. And that brought with it a whole set of different thought processes. However, and so I think we kind of robust. We can kind of, you really kind of, we give us something metal, something on fire, something whatever. We can fix it without a manual, without googling. We know what to do. We're gonna try a thing here and there. We're gonna fiddle. We generally get it done. This is not a show off. Go, you can Google it and see. Generally considered to be independent, resourceful, resilient. All right, those characteristics really help in family caregiving. But here's the rub. We talked about about education. Now this generation has is called sandwich generation. Why? On one side of the sandwich, you've got many of them have children. So early 40s, 40, late 30s, 40s, to, well, 40s to mid 50s. Remember, families were getting children later because education was there. You had more opportunities. So you're going to get your degree and then you get your children. That's not how it worked before. And so, generally, statistically, just on a numbers point of view, there are fewer of us in the world than there are millennials, than there are baby boomers. Again, which makes us unique and our challenges unique. So, the despite that resilience and so on, the challenges are with that sandwich. Not only do you have your older parents, you've got children, and now I say put another middle piece in that sandwich. You've got your career, many and women especially. So before it would have been more the males. Women are the income earners, the income bearers, and the family caregivers. Rearing of the children, getting everybody to school, making lunch, packing lunch, sorting out deadlines at work, being the CEO of the house, CEO of the job, management style, supervision. Everybody comes to, generally speaking, have a lot on their plates. A lot. And if you can imagine just not being between but being squeezed now, because one of the research bits I saw, which was a little daunting to be honest, is that Gen X is considered to be the generation which will, of all the generations before and after them, have the least amount of income because of the energy crisis, the oil crisis, the global meltdown. Everybody had COVID-19 lockdown and all that, but it's still at that time those older Gen Xers would have been closer to retirement, so their retirement funds were pulled. So what's happening now? Their parents, baby boomers, older persons, granddad and grandmom. Now, some Gen Xers have found themselves having to sell their homes because of the crises, go back home to their older parents, or move from where they were raising their family and now go back home because there's support there. You don't have another three mortgage amounts to pay. You don't have as much. You have somebody there with child rearing, but now you also have to take care of a parent who may not necessarily have health issues or dementia or anything. Aging is not a disease, just a process. So they are sprightly. I know my grand raised me very sprightly. She was very sprightly age, up and down. I thought my grandmother was like superwoman. She could do anything and everything. She could fix everything. She could cure things. She could cook, do everything. I know she's the one we are all taking care of. But then it occurs to me, hey, you know what? My mom, my aunts, and my other uncles and so there are me. I'm the sandwich for them too. So Gen Xers have like two sets of people to take care of on one side, and their children, nieces, nephews, whatever on the other side, plus pets and so on, plus career, demanding careers, doctors, attorneys, and just whatever your career is that is demanding. I mean, those aren't the only jobs available. What about those construction magnates? Construction is huge, it's booming. What about those who are not just in accounting, but those who have to do financial persons? What about those who are in labor intensive jobs that we need? The bakers, we gotta eat. The chefs, you name it. Everyone's place, we noticed, especially in lockdown, how important each person on this tier was. So these unique challenges in family caregiving can create what you can easily see. Burnout is obvious because you burn literally at both ends. How are you going to take care of a teenage child? They may not be as younger. Some are younger. Some are teenagers. Teenagers. They have their education. They have their own things. You have to deal with them. You have an older parent on the other side. Maybe an older a grandparent as well. You may or may not have a spouse to help. You may have a spouse who doesn't help. You may have relatives who don't help. You may have one sibling who might help out with mom or dad or whoever. You may have a spouse to take care of. You may have a child to take care of. The list goes on. It sounds overwhelming and it can definitely be overwhelming, and it is. And then you add the financial burden and the job demands. Sandwich generation, Gen X, is sometimes also called the forgotten generation. People have forgotten about us because we just get it done. So here's how we get it done. We don't just talk bad news. We're doing positive vibes. So yeah, all of that said, we can still find joy. How do we find that? I don't like that word balance because it means as if you don't get it done, it's off balance. How do you manage and maintain your joy? You can do this by rote. You know I'm going to say self-care, which means taking time every day, even if it's 5 minutes, to do something for yourself, mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually as well. So make time for yourself. Take a deep breath in the middle of the day at work. You do not have to answer everybody's call. Everything is not an emergency. As long as it's not on fire or actively in danger, it's not an emergency. It can wait. So delegate tasks, ask for help, which is something we Gen Xers don't do. We don't do well. I don't do well. We don't do well. We're learning to receive and ask for help. That's something that we've got to learn, that we are in the process of learning. Many of us are better at it than others. And also, I would say taking time to make time and schedule is important to not just food and shelter and all that, but and appointments. But schedule time with your children. Yes, let them know as well. This is challenging. They might be teenagers. Here, you can pitch in. Your older family members, they may not be as frail. They may not be in dementia. They may not be decrepit. They can help out. Let's merge the family together, merge our relationships, bond, use the moments we have as special times, learn from our older ones. If they say something and it sounds great, do you know how many times a day I quote my grandmother? I can't even begin. Use the words that they say to say, well, how we manage life in general. Those little things. Show your children aging is not something to be afraid of. Aging is something that we can honor, that you can be advantage. You have the advantage of being a younger person who has an older person in the home who has seen things that your classmates never saw, who you will know things that your classmates may never know. You have an advantage. Even if there's estrangement, even if there's family challenges, which family does not have negative dynamics, positive dynamics too. Let us blend them together, work on, do our resolutions. Peace, what was it? What's the term I wanted? I love and peace and reconciliation. That's not exactly the term I want, but it's coming along those lines. If there's conflict, let us resolve it. Life is too short. Time we have is so precious. But Gen Xers, you can be sure you're doing the best you can. You're awesome. You've got the challenges. We've got the resilience. We've got the know-how. We've got the two sides, and we can bridge these gaps in better ways with team effort, love, support, and making time. From my heart to yours, Dr. Lana, Gen Xer to the max. And we know what that expression is. From my heart to yours, good morning, good evening, good night. If you have any questions, You have your own way of doing it. Remember, like, subscribe. Let us spread the word. Let us support each other. Have a wonderful time. Until I see you again.